Hey guys, welcome back to Darth Jeremy. I'm now here to do my second half of my adult unread books collection. The first part of it will be linked down below. It wasn't originally going to be 2 parts. I wanted it to be 1 video, but it probably would end up being like almost 40 minutes, and that would have taken like 3 hours to upload. So here's part 2, and I'm gonna just keep going. I got books here, I got books here, and I got books here. 3 separate piles. It's gonna be a fun video. So the first 3 I have are Merlin novelizations of actual Merlin episodes, because you guys know I love Merlin. I have Valiant, which is written by Mike Tucker, but it's based on the story of the episode, and it tells the story of Merlin Season 1, Episode 2, basically, and I have read that one. Next one we have is Merlin, the Battle of Gidriff, which is, I believe, to be Episode 11 of Season 1, and it tells the story of that episode. And then we have Merlin, the Destroyer Within, which is based off of the first 2 episodes of the 3rd season. So, all of these are awesome. I have 3 of these, and I'm hoping to get a couple of more. I have read these 2 books. I have not read The Traitor Within. I just haven't gotten around to it, but once I do, it's going to be gone in a day, because I read these books that fast. Okay, so next we're going to start with the stack in front of me. We have Brightside by Kim Holden, which is the first book of the Brightside trilogy, and my father gifted this to me for my birthday last year, and I'm still really excited to read this. I love the bright, simple cover to this, so Colleen Hoover has talked about this, so it looks good. Next I have the entirety of the Consequences series by Aletha Romig. So we have Consequences, Truth, Convicted, which is really the last book of the series, but whatever, Revealed, and Beyond the Consequences. So I've been wanting to read Aletha Romig for like years, and I really want to read her Infidelity series. It looks so good. Alright, so I'm going to set these on the floor down here behind me, just so they're out of my, way. I know, by the way, I haven't read any of those that I just showed you. It's really, well, I'm slowly reading Consequences still. It's taking me a long time to read it, though. The next one I have is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I read this in 2016, and it was my favorite book of that year. This book was phenomenal, amazing, fantastic, and there's rumored that we could be getting a TV show or a mini-series about this book. I'm so for it. By the way, Madeline Miller has a new book that is coming out on April 10th, which is called Circle, and I'm like, oh my gosh, another Madeline Miller book. I'm there. This is like neck and neck with Outlander for me. It's really neck and neck. I have a really hard time picking which one's my favorite. I know what is in Outlander. I know what's in this. I have yet to review this book, and I'll tell you really quickly why I have not reviewed this. When you read such an amazing book, and I deleted my review for Outlander as well, this book, along with Outlander, it's one of those books when you read a really, really fantastic book that just changed your life. Well, not really changed my life, but it's just so good. It's so beautiful. It's so amazing. It's so wonderfully written. It's so wonderfully sculptured. How do you summarize it in words that's not only going to do the book justice, but that's going to get someone else to want to go out buy it and even furthermore, read it? I felt like I couldn't do it justice, so I just didn't post a review on this channel for it. However, I recently acquired the audiobook of this, so I might listen to the audiobook and then try to take notes as I listen to it, and then I might do a formal review of this, because this is one of my favorite books of all time. Next one I have is Attachments by Rainbow Rowell, which is hated a lot, but one of the people that hate on it are a bunch of the, crazed feminists who say, because it's about a guy named Lincoln, who he works for this company, and his job is to siphon through emails at the company that he works for, just to make sure no one, is spilling company secrets or using the company email for gossip or all kinds of ridiculousness. And while siphoning through these emails between these two women, Jennifer and Beth, he begins to fall in love with one of them through reading the emails. And a lot of feminists has called this book out, like a lot of booktubers and feminist people have said, well, that's creepy. He's a creeper. That's disturbing. I'm like, it's his fucking job, you twat. I'm not gonna get angry. Okay, so anyway, there's that one. Sorry, I got a little angry. Let's move those over. And then I have the Thoughtless Trilogy by S.C. Stevens, or series, whatever you want to call it. Because I have Untamed, which I showed you guys in my first half. I also used to have Thoughtful, which is thoughtless in Kellen's perspective, but it just came to me in the worst condition. I'm kind of almost giving up finding a perfect paperback copy of that book, because I've bought 2 copies in the past, and both of them have been just completely in horrible condition, so I kind of give up a little. I will repurchase it eventually. I'm just hoping maybe third time's the charm will be better condition. But the books of the series consist of Thoughtless, Effortless, and Reckless. So I'm really excited to read this series. This is a new adult contemporary romance series that also has to deal with cheating, which I'm not really a fan of, but I've been told that this trilogy will take you on a roller coaster of emotions, and you will just love it for years, and I want to jump on the train of this series, so hopefully I will get around to reading this series, hopefully this year. I really want to try it. These 2 books are both well over 500 pages. This one's like 400 pages, so that's kind of one of the reasons I haven't started reading it yet. There's actually kind of a lot of words on each page. I might Kindle that, or at least the first book. I'll say I have all of Colleen Hoover's books right over here, so I'm going to save all of her books for last and tackle these. I have a couple more series over here. I have Sylvia Day's Crossfire series. And I would love to say that I've read this whole series. I have not. Unfortunately, I have not. But I have read Bear to You, and I do have a review for it. I'm not going to link it down below, because you guys can just search my reviews and find it. But this was one of my favorite books of 2014. I love the way Sylvia Day wrote this book. I loved the characters. I loved Gideon and what's her name? Ava? There's so many. There was Anna, Eva, Ava. I'm like, pick a different name, people. But I really, really loved this book, and I want to continue on with the series, but I read this book 3 years ago, so I'm probably going to have to reread this before I continue on. But the second book is Reflected in You. The third book is Entwined with You, which I lent to a friend, and I got all kinds of 50 Shades of fucked up damage, so I'm going to have to get a new copy of it. But, man, it is what it is. Then there's the fourth book, which is Captivated. Wait, did I just say Captivated by You twice? Entwined with You, if I said that incorrectly. The fourth book is called Captivated by You, and this is the final book to be published by Berkeley Books. I'm not sure what happened. I've been trying to find out why the last book is by a different publisher, but nobody tells me anything, apparently, because I've been asking around and I haven't been able to find anything. And then the last book of the series is called One With You, which is published through St. Martin's Griffin. This is the Bear to You series is a adult romance erotica series, so it does have detailed graphic sex scenes. If those don't bother you, I highly recommend it. This series tells a wonderful story. I have been wanting to continue this series for 3 years. I need to just get around to it, because I read the first book of this series in 2014. I read the same thing with, I read Gabriel's Inferno in 2014, and I read In Flight by R.K. Lilly in 2014. All three of these series I need to read the second books of. So then I'm going to show you my E.L. James collection. I'm surprised I even have a collection of her stuff. These are the books that she has. Ooh, they're all 50 Shades related. So I have indeed read the original 50 Shades trilogy. So that consists of 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker, and 50 Shades Freed. I don't know if I'm gonna get rid of these, because you guys know my thoughts on these. I have reviewed this entire series. I don't think this relationship's okay, but it's still entertaining, and I think that's why I've kind of kept, you know, I think that's why I've kept them, because they're enjoyable. I'm gonna say that they are. Even though I am not okay with what happens, they're still enjoyable. You know, I acknowledge the problematic aspect. I'm not saying this relationship is okay, but they're enjoyable to some kind of extent. In some kind, she did tell a entertaining story there. I'm not defending it or nothing. I'm just saying. And then I also have Grey and Darker by E.L. James, which is 50 Shades of Grey and 50 Shades Darker in the perspective of Christian Grey. A friend gave me this one, and then when this one came out, I bought it because I was interested in his perspective. I have yet to read either one of these, so whenever I do get around to reading them, I will probably definitely be posting my thoughts on them, because Christian was by far the most interesting character of the 50 Shades series, so I think this is going to be really interesting reading his perspective. So there's those, and then we have Colleen Hoover's book. So we're gonna get into it. And I have a whole discussion on Colleen Hoover that I really want to talk about, but I feel like I need to read her books first before I do that discussion. But anyway, so we have Slammed, which was her debut novel, if you didn't know. Then we have Point of Retreat, This Girl. Then we have Hopeless. I'm coming. Then we have the companion novel to that, Losing Hope, a little novella that also follows that in a way, Finding Cinderella, Maybe Someday, Ugly Love, Confess, November 9, and lastly, Without Merit, which is the only one I own in hardcover. So that's Colleen Hoover's books. I own, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 novels and 1 novella. So let's not count Finding Cinderella. I own 10 of her books. 10. Have I read any of them? Nope. I have Slammed, Maybe Someday, and Hopeless all on my Kindle, and Finding Cinderella on my Kindle. You would think that since I have them on my Kindle, it'd be easier to read them. No. So what I will say is those are all of my adult unread books. As you can tell, there's not a lot that I've read of these, and I don't really have anything to say to that. That's these. So once again, I always say this when I make a video like this: if there's any one of these books you want me to read first and tell you what I think of them, let me know. I don't really like doing reviews for individual books of a series anymore. When it's a series, I plan on doing a series review for it. because it's just easier. That way I have my series review for the Vampire Diaries book series coming up very, very soon. I don't know whether that's going to happen today or if that will be sometime else. I actually have 2 YouTube channels. I will be talking about my new one next week. But my main day for uploading videos to this channel is going to be every Sunday. There will be something new. You guys got really lucky this week and got 2 videos from me. But like I said, Sunday is going to be every week. I'm planning on moving to Florida. As much as I love Minnesota, it's just too cold here, and I want to move to a place that has better job opportunities, so that will be happening later in the summertime. So if I'm gone for probably a month, that's why, you know, I'm adjusting to the moving process, packing up all my shit, you know. The only thing I don't like about moving is I'm always afraid that my books are going to get massively damaged, and then I'm going to be sad because then I have to spend a lot of money rebuying a whole bunch of books. I'm really, really anal about my books. But I will talk to you guys in my next video. Don't know what that's going to be, but I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and hopefully I will be feeling much better by Sunday. So I will talk to you guys later.